My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please reach out and subscribe to our channel. Today we're going to talk about the selection of your divorce lawyer. How does one go about finding a lawyer? Well, in the old days, people would try to find a lawyer that was, from around the neighborhood. The legal community was much smaller then. There would be a couple of local lawyers who were in the community, people who maybe lived in that community, practiced in that community, and it would be very easy to go down the street and go to, so-and-so, and Bob, the lawyer, takes care of these things. The world has become much more sophisticated over the last few years. The legal landscape has become much broader. Now, with the advent of Zoom and other virtual methods of conducting legal affairs, people can hire lawyers from really all over the state, and they don't have to be the guy next door. You have a wide opportunity to hire lawyers from many geographic locations who might be particularly skilled in handling the need that you have. So how does one go about it? Well, the first thing I think you got to do is you got to determine your goals and objectives. And you got to find a lawyer with whom you identify. That should be the one that you pick. It shouldn't be the lawyer that somebody else used necessarily, because it might have worked for them, might not work for you. I have found over the years that it's amazing how certain clients gravitate towards certain types of lawyers. It's always the case that when I have a client on the other side who's trying to lie about everything, trying to conceal his assets, trying to act like he's broke when all his whole life he's been living a high lifestyle, you can guarantee that that guy who goes like this through his life is going to get a lawyer who goes like this, rather than being a straight shooter. A guy like that would never hire a straight shooter, because that lawyer is going to tell him, well, wait a minute, you got to disclose these assets. The law requires you to tell the other side what you have. And that guy will be fired immediately, right? Because he's not saying the things that that client wants to hear. So, in other words, the clients tend to gravitate toward lawyers who see things the way they do. So a crooked client's going to hire a lawyer who's going to try and finagle things and maybe on the other side of the ethics requirements of the court rules. A client who's very straightforward and very straight with how he manages affairs is likely to hire a lawyer who's likewise as straight. Why? Because that's who he will identify with. So you're going to have to find someone with whom you identify. Obviously, it should be someone who has a strong respect for the law and the court rules. It should be someone who has a strong moral and ethical compass. But what you should do is, a lot of people say, well, I'm this way, but I want to hire an extremely aggressive lawyer. I hear this all the time. What you don't realize is, yeah, he's extremely aggressive with everybody. Soon he'll be aggressive with you too. If you're okay with that, that's fine. You identify with that guy, hire him. But if you look at the big picture and you decide, you know what, we have small children, I'm going to have to get along with my ex for another 15 years. If that's what you're looking for, to have a nice working relationship, don't hire some lawyer who's going to destroy the relationship during the divorce so that the other side hates you. That's not what you want. If you want to get something that's fundamentally fair, if you want to get something that will be preserving of your relationship after the divorce, make sure that that's what the lawyer has in mind. And how do you know? Talk to him. Tell him, okay, this is what we have in mind. What's the recommendation that you have of how we can achieve this goal? And if he tells you something that's reasonable and makes sense, maybe you found your guy. And if he says, well, we're going to beat him into submission and then you'll have more bargaining power later on, if you get an answer like that, that may be overly aggressive. Maybe the search has to continue. On the other hand, maybe you're looking for someone to beat someone into submission. If you are, okay, maybe you found your guy. So, in other words, the point is, different people have different objectives. Figure out what yours are in the big picture, and then find a lawyer with whom you identify, and that will be the proper person for you. If you have any questions about that, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.